each time you sort of get into your groove, start stepping. You always want to step in underneath the face cradle and come around. I would use a little bit more pressure if I had oil going. So you're kind of doing this back and forth. It's almost like a kata if you've trained in martial arts. The reasoning behind it is eventually you're doing stuff like you're coming down here, because the idea is to stay constantly moving around the body, because the idea with Lomi is to disengage the mind and create like a trance state. What you're doing is allowing someone who's always trying to think of a massage, you're giving them a hard time, so that their brain will eventually give up and they'll kind of go out. There's lots of really good techniques in here for the practitioner as well. I've gotten better and better with my right and left brain integration. And of course, this is really, really good for just making the brain sort of short circuit and go out.
So you said that you use oil rather than motion cream?
I prefer oil, yes. It's definitely involves having to take a shower after the massage and all that stuff, but I think it really adds to the experience.
And the flow.
Yes. The draping is, you can work with all levels of draping, but the ideal draping is minimal, usually, just because of, you're just moving all over the body, so you just kind of keep everything covered here and everything minimally draped. And you don't like in massage, you uncover a little bit at a time.
It gets slightly difficult in the state of Texas. The whole draping bit, you have to be very careful in this state, but in Hawaii,
You don't use draping at all?
they use very minimal draping, like a sarong,
Yeah.
and that's it. Very minimal.
In Turkey, there's nothing.
This is something, like, you would want to do that kind of draping on other therapists, maybe not so much on your clients. Yeah.
What on minimal draping? Well, yeah, I don't know. If you're prepared for it and you know, then
You really should do a 15 or 20 minute consultation before and really after the treatment, because you want to talk. You want to really have a good conversation with your clients. I usually want an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minute session with my clients. I'm actually doing it wrong, but you guys didn't know. You're supposed to start at the very tip of it.
It's hard with clothes.
Some really cool footwork here also. And they taught this to us in the class I took in Austin, but they also did it at the place I went to in Hawaii. So I think it's pretty standard, or I just got lucky. of course, I'm not breathing right. I would be breathing, constantly breathing, doing lots of that. So that's another thing people aren't really used to, sort of. You also want to wash the feet before any session. It's very important because you're going to be massaging the entire body. And you know, for people who are really into the sports massage aspect of things, it's really amazing how this whole general massage really takes care of a lot of stuff. I mean, it hits a lot.
I'll post this on his website.
I was really pleased with it.
Oh, okay.
I can work on Sarah, well, not as easily right now, but I can work on her and usually work out whatever is going on without, I mean, I don't even really have to say, so what's hurting? She'll just say, wow, my back was hurting. It's not hurting anymore.
So you don't suggest taking those CEs or Lomi that they come with like the back of the magazine and stuff like that?
I've seen my teacher that I learned from in Austin, I've seen him advertise in the back of the magazine, so some of them are actually, I approve of. I'm going to leave some cards. If you guys are curious and you want to ask me about any classes at any time, feel free to email me or contact me. I'll look into it for you. You know, I'm sure there's some people out there that aren't qualified to teach and that are, you know, but I personally don't feel like I'm qualified to teach it, maybe to show it. I feel like someone should be practicing Lomi for a long time before they're qualified to teach. But I would recommend a good week-long class, or you know, moving to Hawaii and just getting the whole experience.
Moving to Hawaii. It's much easier if you don't have kids. Just up and move there.
So what do you typically charge?
I would like to just charge by donation. I think that's better. But
Because that's a lot of work. I mean, you're obviously, you're getting a workout.
it is.
A good,
But I mean, a workout, people pay for that though.
right.
You know, so I mean, you're getting stuff out of it too.
The place we went in Hawaii was done by donation only,
Yeah.
and we were so amazed. We gave them $300 because we felt it was totally worth every dime, you know. And that's what we've worked at high-end resorts, so that's what they charge.
Yeah.
So we just paid high-end resort fee, and they were like shocked that we paid them so much. So, I mean,
Sometimes you get more from donation than you do by charge, you know, because they'll kind of over. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, we were just, like I said, we were amazed afterwards. I felt amazing for 3 months afterwards. Like, amazing.
What island were you at?
Oahu.
So did anybody notice any kind of common theme with my strokes?
Forearm.
Okay.
Very low forearm. Hand. and fingers.
It's a full body thing.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I love it.
I mean, it just, honestly, it just looks like way.
This is the, I call it infinity stroke.
You want another scene?
And it's just a shape.
Give me just a
you know,
minute, okay?
little figure 8. And right now, that's one of my biggest meditation points is doing the infinity stroke. And just it's amazing how much it applies to, you know, the whole body. And it's really, really useful. I do it on the arms here. Even if I'm not doing it with both arms, I maintain that line and I move along that line. I come around. I'm able to go around the shoulder blades. I'm not chafing you. Okay, good.
So you use that same movement on pretty much all of them?
I try because it's hard to do, and it's for me it's about training me as well. I feel like as I do that, I'm going to progress through my art even more if I'm able to do it. And I try to, you know, that's what I was trying to do on the hands. I really have a hard time working on the fingers because it's a smaller area, but I'm still trying to do a figure eight at the same time. I'm working in two different areas at the same time. I'm coming this way and this way, coming back this way and this way, coming back in the middle. So that's the brain going in two different directions.
So is this like the main thing on the spa menus in the high-end hotels in Hawaii? Is it like what all the tourists get? Is they ask for Lomi massage?
There's a lot.
Is that common?
There's a lot. This is one of the most common forms of Lomi. So you will see these kinds of strokes in most of your hotels and spas. Yeah, but it's big. It's big. If you go there, you're going to get. But I specifically sought out a native because I wanted that native experience. You know, because I worked for 7 years at a major spa, and I know how it goes around there. It's like sometimes things are authentic and sometimes things are not. They cut a lot of corners at spas. You know, they're not as worried about what they put on you and their integrity. Always, I'm not saying for every place, but a lot of the places I work, the integrity is not there. It's more about the money. You know.
Can we try to do that again?
Yeah.
Would anyone like? Well, I actually would like to show the front of the body.
Okay.
That's what I figured.
That would be a male.
Okay.
Alright, girl.
That was awesome, by the way.
Good.
Yeah.
I barely even did anything to you.
Well, the long sweeping, that really.
You're supposed to be drawing in the waves and pulling them back, and that's what it's supposed to be.
All right, awesome. So you're gonna lay face up. Carol.
So how do you do it with a female in the front of the body?
Nice to meet
Do you have gel?
Huh?
You're gonna need something for the back,
For the back. Oh.
so you don't rip. That's gonna be painful if you try to do it without anything.
There's a towel there.
Now, for females, in the training, they actually have them topless.
Really?
Without bra, everything. You're not gonna.
That's too level.
Now we both worked at Lake Austin Spa Resort.
You're not.
Hey, I'm going all in for this bad.
You're crazy.
If you get cold, let me know. I'll cover you up.
Oh, he's got sure. No, so Shane and I worked at Lake Austin Spa Resort. He worked there for 8 years. I worked there for 3 or 4, something like that. But for female therapists can actually have a waiver signed that say breast tissue massage is okay, and then the lady will have their top off. Now you cover them with a towel up until the point where you need to have it exposed, and the state of Texas is okay with that. I was trained in Abhyanga forehand massage, so we actually had 2 people on each side of the table, and we did long strokes kind of similar to what they're doing here. So he's showing the draping for a female right there. So like
Doing that.
yeah, but for female, now they don't allow male therapists to do those types of techniques on female. It's only females are allowed to do it. So,
I think we should put you on.
Okay, honey, I'll show you where it is. Is that okay if I take you?
That's my idea. You know, just tie down some yarmulke.
but when you're amongst massage therapists, like in the training he did, they didn't care, and you know, we're professionals, so you just have to be careful, and it depends on what establishment you're working with, that kind of thing. But you always want to be careful with that kind of thing, for sure.
Take your shirt off for me, please.
The top.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'll stop.
Yeah, just pause it.